Hello, my dear students. Myself Arpita, your botany teacher. So I hope your second test was also very good. So today again we are going to discuss the solutions from the botany portion. Okay. So now let's see the first question. Your first question was so the first question was photosynthetic bacteria have pigments in chromoplast, chromatophores, leucoplast or chloroplast. So student, what will be the correct answer here? You know that photosynthetic bacteria, like suppose this is the bacteria, the plasma membranes have some infoldings in them which are called as mesosomes, and another infolding was there which is called as chromatophores. Mesosome, it is the mesosome which works for respiration process, DNA replication. Okay. Whereas the other extension of the plasma membrane is called as the chromatophores. Chromatophores. So chromatophores contain the pigment. It contains the pigment for photosynthesis. So among these four options given, the correct option will be option number 2, that is chromatophores. Okay, I hope your answer was correct. Now let's see the next question. So the next question is, epicotyle has a shoot apex and a few leaf primordia enclosed in a hollow foliar structure which is called as hypocotyle, coleoptile, coleorhiza and radicle. So this is directly from your NCERT textbook, right? So the correct answer will be coleoptile, right? Because hypocotyle is not the correct answer. Coleorhiza, we know it is the sheet covering the radical portion, and the next is radicle from which the roots arise, right? So the correct answer will be option number 2, that is coleoptile. Next is the 103 question. Select the correct statement regarding heterocyst. Okay. Option number 1, perform nitrogen fixation. Option number 2, contain nitrogenous enzyme. Option number 3, present in nostoc and anabina. Option number 4, all of the above. So first of all, you need to remember what was heterocyst. What do you mean by heterocyst? If you recall the structure of eubacteria, it is also given in a NCERT. Some particular cells are specialized. They are specialized. Suppose here I am drawing this figure. Suppose this cell of the eubacteria has specialized, and this specialized cell is nothing but the heterocyst. So the specialized cell present in eubacteria, remember, which is known as true bacteria, is called as the heterocyst. And if you see the functions here, first function is written help in the nitrogen fixation. Yes, it is correct, nitrogen fixation. It contains nitrogenous enzyme. Yes, to create those nitrogen cycle, they need a nitrogenous enzyme. It is present in nostoc and anabina. We know nostoc and anabina. These are two examples of eubacteria, right? So among these four options, you can see all of the above statement or options are correct. So correct answer is option number 4. Let's see the next question now. Question number 104. Non-albuminous seeds lack residual endosperm. Reason is the endosperm is entirely utilized during embryo development. So if you recall, what was endosperm and how these endosperms are formed? How it is formed? It forms when the polar nuclei. How many polar nuclei are there? There are 2 polar nuclei. So we can write it as N plus N, right? And it fused with one male gamete. One male gamete. So here the ploidy is N. So it creates tricent, triploid, right? We usually call it as triploid. So when this polar nuclear fuse with one male gamete, it forms primary endosperm nucleus, right? Primary endosperm nucleus, which ultimately forms the endospermic tissue, right? And endospermic tissue, it provides nutrition to the developing embryo, right? So we already know about endosperm, right? How it is formed and what is its function. So from the assertion point of view, it is written that non-albuminous seeds lack residual endosperm. Yes, albuminous means those who will possess the endosperm. Non-albuminous means they will not possess endosperms. So why the endosperm is not observed in such seeds? It is because whole endosperm is utilized during embryo development. When the embryo develops, then it utilizes all of the endosperm for its growth and development process. So the correct answer is option number 1, that is both assertion and reasons are true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Okay, so I think it is okay for you. Now let's see the next question. So in the next question, you can see which of the following is true for F1 generation plant obtained from Mendel's cross between pure parent. Option number 1, it resembles both the parent. Option number 2, it resembles partially one of the parents. Option number 3, it resembles both of the parent partially. Option number 4, it resembles completely one of the parent. Now see the question. The question is, which statement among these 4 statements, which statement is true for the F1 generation plant obtained from Mendel's cross between pure parent? You need to know pure parent. Mendel has taken 2 parent, one was tall and another one was dwarf, right? So if you cross capital T with small t, we know these parents are what? These are called as the pure parent. Pure parents means when they will have homozygous allele. So it is homozygous, right? The alleles are same, so it is homozygous allele. So in the F1 generation, what we observe, in the F1 generation, we observe, like I'm not drawing the Punnett square completely, I'm directly showing you the phenotypic and genotypic ratio. So capital T, small t, then it will create capital T, small t, and capital T, small t. So this is the result of F1 generation, right? And you can see here, no doubt the genotype is completely different from both of the parent. But if you see, this tall represent capital T, and small t represent the dwarf. But if you observe the phenotypic expression of the F1 generation, you will observe that capital T, small t, it means all the phenotypes will be tall, right? So in the last option, it is written here that it resembles completely one of the parent. So it is the correct statement. It resembles one of the parent is tall. So capital T and capital T, small t. No doubt the genotype is different, but the phenotypic expression is same. Okay. So correct statement is option number 4. Okay. I hope you have understood about this. Now let's move on to the next question. So the next question is, algae having cell wall made up of cellulose, pectin and polysulfate ester is Ectocarpus, Gracilaria, Fucus and Cara. So this is basically from the chapter Plant Kingdom, and you have already got a table where all the composition of the cell wall is written in your NCERT textbook. So if you recall, which of the following algae have the cell wall made up of cellulose, pectin and polysulfate? So can you recall what is the correct answer? That is Gracilaria. So here also I have written the statement is the cell wall composition of rhodophyceae, right? So that statement, that cell wall composition is of the red algae called as rhodophyceae. And among these four options, which one is red algae? That is Gracilaria. So Gracilaria is the correct answer. Got it? See the next question, 107. Select the list of items of column 1 with column 2 and select the correct option from the codes given below. Okay. So you can see column 1 by looking at column 1 and column 2. You can guess the chapter is anatomy of flowering plant. So now let's match the following. Okay. Casparian strips. It composed of, what does it contain? It okay, first. Okay. Stele. Stele is all tissues inner to endodermis. I hope you know about stele. So stele contains pericycle, vascular bundles and pith, right? So all tissues inner to endodermis is this. So it is the correct statement. Next, you can see Casparian strip, subsuberine, dumbbell shaped cell. Dumbbell shaped cell is for the monocot leaf. Bean shaped gourd cell is for the dicot leaf. So from this you can option 2, 3, 1 and 4. 2, 3, 1 and 4. Yes. So correct option is option number 2. Okay. So it is directly from your NCERT. You just need to remember which of the following is the anatomy of which part of the plant, and simultaneously you need to remember this. Okay. See the next question now. Read the following statement. In anther, the proximal end of the filament is attached to the thalamus. Statement number 2. Sporogenous tissue occupies the center of each microsporangium. So you need to say which among the following statement is true, if it is true or false or whatever. Okay, so first of all, you know anther have a proximal end. If you recall the structure of anther, which is given in your chapter sexual reproduction in flowering plant, you must have seen a structure like this, right? This is called as anther. This one is filament. And this one is the proximal part of the stamen, which is attached to the thalamus of flower. Okay. So you can see the first statement is correct, right? Second statement is telling you that sporogenous tissue occupies the center of each microsporangium. So if you recall the figure of the longitudinal section of anthers, you must have seen something like this, right? So there are 4 microsporangium, and inside this microsporangium is the sporogenous tissue. There are a lot of tissues which are called as sporogenous tissue. These are the sporogenous tissue. And sporogenous tissue have the cell which are called as spore mother cells, right? So statement number 2 is also correct. So from this two statement, both of the statements are correct. So option number 3, that is 1 and 2, both the statements are true. Okay. So I hope it is okay for you. Now let's see the next question now. 109. Consider the following match. Option A, statement A, hypodermis of monocot stem is sclerenchyma, pericycle of root parenchyma, xylem fibers sclerenchyma, hypodermis of dicot stem is collenchyma. So this is also from the chapter Anatomy of Flowering Plant. So hypodermis of monocot stem, the cortical portion of the stem is divided into three regions. If you recall, that first region was the hypodermis, second is cortical region, and the third was endodermis, right? So in case of monocot stem, the hypodermis is made up of sclerenchymatous tissue. Why? Because monocot stem, they do not undergo secondary growth. That is the reason sclerenchyma provide them mechanical support. So to provide the mechanical support, their hypodermal layer is consisting of this sclerenchymatous tissue. So first statement is correct. Next, pericycle of root is parenchyma. It is also correct. Xylem fiber is made up of sclerenchyma. We know sclerenchyma is a dead tissue. So, xylem fibers is consisting of sclerenchyma. Hypodermis of dicot stem is collenchyma. Yes. In case of dicot stem, we know secondary growth take place in the dicot, right? So, their hypodermal layer is consisting of collenchyma tissue. So, collenchyma tissue provide them mechanical support. Whereas, if you see the monocot stem, the hypodermis is sclerenchyma. So, this statement is also correct. So, how many are correctly matched? Yes, 4. All the statements are correct. Okay? Okay. See the next question now. In Mirabilis, a cross between a red flowered plant and a white flowered plant resulted in all pink flowered plants. What is the probability of obtaining red flowered plants in a cross when pink flower is self-pollinated? So first of all, the first statement is telling you that red is capital R, suppose it is crossing with the white flowered plant and the result was capital R, small r. It is red and it is white. So the F1 generation was found to be capital R, small r, and their phenotype was pink. Okay. Now the question is, what is the probability of obtaining red flowered plants in a cross when pink flower is self-pollinated? So pink flower is capital R, small r. So we need to cross capital R, small r. Let me draw the Punnett square for this. So capital R, capital R, capital R, small r, capital R, small r, small r, small r. So you can see here that capital R is red, right? Whereas capital R, small r, and here also we can see capital R, small r, it is pink, right? And small r will be white. So can you tell me the ratio of this cross? The ratio is capital R, capital R, capital R, capital R, small r, and small r, small r. So the ratio is 1:2:1. So the answer is given in decimal point. So you need to divide 1 with 4. So if you divide 1 divided by 4, what will be the correct answer? Yes, it will be 0.25. You no need to calculate, you just see the option. So you can directly say that the answer is 0.25. So the probability of red flower plants is 0.25. Okay. So this is the answer. I hope you have understood about this. Okay. Let's see the next question now, that is 111, that is okay. In binomial nomenclature, the name of an organism consists of, yes, it is very easy question. So what is the correct answer? The name of genus and species. Yes, because the binomial nomenclature was given by Carolus Linnaeus and it composed of two components, that is genus and species, right? So the correct answer is option number 2. See the next question. photosystem 2 has P700 as reaction center. Option number 2, participates in cyclic photophosphorylation. Option number 3, in associated with release of oxygen. Option number 4 is absent in cyanobacteria. So photosystem 2, the option first is written, it has P700 as reaction center. Do you think it is true? No, because P700 is for photosystem 1, so it should be 680, right? So first statement is correct, not correct. It participates in cyclic photophosphorylation. For cyclic photophosphorylation, only PS1 is involved, whereas PS2 and PS1, both of them are involved in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. In association with release of oxygen, yes. So this is the correct statement you can see here. Option 2 is also not correct. It is absent in cyanobacteria. It is also incorrect. So option number 3 is correct answer. Why? Because if you recall about the chemiosmotic hypothesis, you must have seen that in the photosystem 2, a complex is present towards the lumen of the thylakoid, right? That complex name is called as oxygen evolving complex, right? So in this oxygen evolving complex, what happened? The splitting of water take place. The splitting of H2O take place, as the result of which it produces protons, electrons and oxygen. So the third option, in associated with release of oxygen, yes. So it is the correct answer. Got it? Okay. See the next question, that is 113. A typical angiosperm embryo sac at maturity contain how many nucleus and cell? So it is also very easy question. Recall the figure of embryo sac. So here is the filiform apparatus. Okay. So first 3 are antipodal cell. There are 3 number of antipodal cell. There are 2 polar nuclei. There are egg apparatus. This is the egg apparatus. Egg apparatus contain 2 synergid and 1 egg cell. So how many nucleus you can see here? That is 3, 5, 6 and 7, 8, right? So total number of, yes, total number of nucleus is 8. 8 nucleus, and how many cells are there? That is 7 cell. So 7 celled 8 nucleus will be the correct answer. So C 7 cell, yes. Option number 2. Option number 2 is the correct answer. 3 antipodal cell, you can see 3 antipodal cell is there. 1 central cell is there. I have not written here. 1 central cell is there. Central cell. Okay. Polar nucleus. So how many nucleus? See, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Yes. So 7 nucleus. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 nucleus, right? And 7 cell. How? 3 antipodal cell, 1 central cell, 4, 5, 6 and 7. 2 synergid cells and 1 egg cells. You will not count the polar nucleus because these are the nucleus. It is not a cell, right? So overall, you are going to calculate the number of central cell. So there are 1 central cell, and in this 1 central cell, it comprises this 2 polar nucleus. Polar nucleus, remember. Okay, so there are 8 nucleus and 7 cell. So option number 2 is the correct answer. Okay. Let's see the next question, that is 114. So the question is, select the list of items of column 1 with column 2 and select the correct option from the quotes given below. So Saccharomyces cerevisiae, you know, it is the scientific name of yeast and it is used for making bread. Right, so correct option is this. Now lactobacillus convert milk to curd, and Propionibacterium shermani is help in the formation of Swiss cheese. So from this, option number 1 is the correct answer. Now next question is, mesosomes are the infoldings of cell membrane. Already I have drawn many times. So this is the right. This is the mesosome. So mesosomes are the infoldings of cell membrane. They help in DNA replication and distribution to daughter cells. Yes, it's correct. It helps in secretion of process. It is also correct. And increase the enzymatic content. Yes, it is also correct. So from this, option number 4 is the correct answer because all the statements are correct. Right. So A, B and C statement are correct. Let's move on to the next question now. Select a pair of flowers in which ovary is half inferior. So you must be knowing half inferior is in the chapter morphology of flowering plant. So you need to select which among the following example are having half inferior ovary. So what is the correct answer? You can see the correct answer is option number 3, that is plum, rose. Another example is there, that is peach. If you see your NCERT textbook, you will see that there is another example. Okay, so now see the next question now. Yes, okay. So all are correctly matched except ecosystem, functional unit of nature. Yes, it's correct. Terrestrial ecosystem, example is desert. Yes, it is also correct. Man-made ecosystem, aquarium. Natural ecosystem, crop field. No, it is directly written in your NCERT textbook from the chapter ecosystem that crop field is an example of man-made ecosystem. It is a man-made ecosystem. So option number 4 is the correct answer for this question. See the next question. Mark the incorrect match pair for recessive traits. So here the characters are given and here the traits are given. And you need to select which of the following are having the recessive traits. Okay, pod shape constricted, yes, it is a recessive trait. Pod color yellow, flower positions terminal, recessive. Flower color violet, no. Violet is a dominant trait. It is a dominant trait. Can you tell me the recessive traits of this? The recessive trait will be white. Dominant is the violet, while recessive will be of the white color flower. Right. So definitely the correct answer is option number 4. Okay. See the next question now. In the medicinal plant Rauwolfia vomitoria, variation affecting the production of the drug reserpine in different Himalayan ranges primarily indicate species diversity, genetic diversity, ecological diversity, or none of this. So what is the correct answer from this question? This is also directly from your NCERT textbook, Biodiversity and Conservation, right? So you know the correct answer is option number 2, that is genetic diversity. Okay, let's move on to the next question now. What was the conclusion in Griffith experiment? So Griffith experiment, what he did, what he used mice for his experiment, right? And he used the bacteria which is called as Streptococcus pneumonia. It was causing the pneumonia disease, right? So from this option you can see protein was found to be a genetic material. No, it was not concluded by Griffith experiment. Some transforming principle passed from dead organism to living organism. Virus can live in bacteria. DNA was found to be. So definitely the correct answer is option number 2. What you observed that from the S killed bacteria, something has passed from the S kill bacteria to the R strain bacteria, which causes the R strain bacteria to become virulent. Right? So that was the transforming principle concluded by Griffith experiment. So here is the solution also. He concluded that some transforming principle transformed from the hit kill S strain had enabled the R strain to synthesize a smooth polysaccharide coat and become virulent. Okay, so correct option is option number 2. See the next question now. Assertion is sister chromatid of all chromosomes at metaphasic plates split simultaneously in mitotic anaphase. Yes, it's correct. Reason is in metaphase chromosomes show some condensation and get fully condensed. Okay. So here both of the statements are correct, but it is not the correct explanation of the assertion. Okay. So sister chromatids of all chromosomes at metaphasic split simultaneously mitotic anaphase. So the reason should be why, what happens, the chromosomes, the kinetochores attach the spindle fiber and it moves towards the opposite pole in the anaphase stage. But the reason is all about the metaphase stage only, right? So it is not the correct explanation, but both of the statements are correct. So option number 2 is the correct answer. And here is the solution also. That reason should be in anaphase stage is characterized by centromere splits and chromatids separate and move to opposite poles. So here I have said already that it should be of the anaphase stage, but the reason is also about the metaphase stage, right? So it is not the correct explanation. See the next question now, that is 122. All are the characteristic of humus except option number 1, dirt color amorphous substance. Yes, it is about the humus. Highly resistant to microbial action. It is also correct. It serves as the reservoir of nutrients. It is also correct. And option number 4, undergoes decomposition at faster rate. No, it undergoes decomposition at slow rate. So option number 4 is the correct answer. See the next question, that is question number 123. So from the 123, you need to select isotopes that are used by Hershey and Chase. So Hershey and Chase, if you recall the experiment done by them, you must have remembered what was the isotope of phosphorus and sulfur. So the answer is option number 2, 32 phosphorus and 35 sulfur. Okay, option 2 is the correct answer. (124). Read the following statement and select the correct option. Photorespiration does not occur in maize plant. Total 18 ATPs are required for the synthesis of one glucose molecule through Calvin cycle. Rubisco is the primary carbon dioxide acceptor in C4 plant. So can you say which is the correct option among this? Photorespiration, you know already, it is a wasteful process when Rubisco bind with oxygen instead of carbon dioxide. So here it is written photorespiration does not occur in maize plant. Yes, because maize plant is a C4 plant, and in the C4 plant photorespiration does not take place. It takes place in the C3 plant. So yes, it's correct. Total 18 ATPs are required for the synthesis of one glucose molecule through Calvin cycle. Yes, because the Kelvin cycle goes, they show 6 turns of cycles, right? So as a result of this, it needs 18 ATP. It is also correct. Third statement is Rubisco is the primary carbon dioxide acceptor in C4 plant. No. What should be the correct answer? PEP, phosphoenol pyruvate. Phosphoenol pyruvate is the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide in C4 plant. For if you recall, Rubisco is the primary carbon dioxide acceptor in C3 plant. No, not for C4 plants, right? So it should be C3. So definitely statement number C is incorrect. Okay. So correct answer is only A and B. Yes, 2. 2 is the correct answer. Got it? See the next question now, that is 125. Morgan carried out several dash draws in Drosophila to study genes that were dash. So what he did, Thomas Hunt Morgan, what he did? He did dihybrid cross. So he carried out several dihybrid cross in Drosophila to study genes that were sex linked. So it's very easy question. So it is correct answer is option number 4, right? Now see the next question, that is question number 126. Yes. The question number 126 is glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasms of the cell and is present in all living organisms. Yes, it's correct. Reason is glycolysis is the only process of respiration in anaerobic organism. This is not the correct explanation of this assertion, right? Because we have studied in the aerobic respiration, there is the complete breakdown of the glycolysis, complete breakdown of the glucose, right? Whereas in the anaerobic, it is the partial breakdown. So partial breakdown takes place in the cytoplasms. Glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm of the cell and it is present in all living organisms. It is correct. Glycolysis is the only process of respiration in anaerobic organisms. So this statement is not about the assertion, right? So you can see here, glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasms of the cell because the enzymes required for the glycolytic pathway are only found in the cytoplasm. So this should be the reason, but here the reason is something different. It is not talking about the why the glycolysis process takes place in the cytoplasms. So both the assertion and reason is correct, but reason is not the correct explanation of the assertion. Okay, so this is the correct answer. Okay. Next question, you see, the criteria that should be fulfilled by molecule to act as a genetic material is option statement number 1, able to replicate, should undergo fast mutation, should be able to express itself in the form of Mendelian character, should be stable chemically and structurally. So you need to select which among these is correct. So as you can see here, that statement 1, 3 and 4, 3 statements are correct, but here statement number 2 is written, it should undergo fast mutation. No, it should show slow mutations, right? So 1, 3 and 4 is correct. So that means option number 3 is correct for this question. Okay. See the next question now, 128. So 128 is about the similarity between nostoc and dinoflagellates is mostly fresh water, presence of pigments chlorophyll A, nucleus, cellulosic cell wall. So nostocs belongs to kingdom Monera under the eubacteria, and dinoflagellates, this is the protista, right? That is the difference. You need to select the similarity. The similarity is Both of them possess the pigment chlorophyll A. So option number 2 is the correct answer. See the next question now. (129) Trichoderma polysforum is a fungus used in the production of. This is directly from the chapter Microbes in Human Welfare. So Trichoderma polysforum is a fungus which is used in the production of what? Where it is used? It is used in the formation of cyclosporin A. So option number 2 is the correct answer. So you can see bioactive molecule cyclosporin A is used as an immunosuppressive agent in organ transplant patient. It is produced by the fungus Trichoderma polysforum. Okay, so it is the correct answer. So the next question is 130. You can see both plants and diatoms have similar features of option number 1, presence of chlorophyll A, option number 2, well-defined nucleus, option number 3, ribosomes, ATS, and option number 4, all of this. You need to select which of the following feature is common to both plants and diatoms. So what is the correct answer? The correct answer is option number 4. Yes, because plant is also a eukaryote, diatoms is also a eukaryote. So well-defined nucleus is definitely present, and just now we have studied that they present the chlorophyll A also, and the ribosome is of ATS, because ribosomes for the eukaryotes is ATS, right? So all of these are the correct statement. See the next question, 131. So choose the incorrect statement. Okay, you need to select the incorrect statement. Unicellular organisms are capable of performing the essential functions of life. Yes, it's correct. In 1838, Matthias Kleeden, a German botanist, examined a large number of plants. Yes, it is also correct. Statement number 3, Kleeden concluded that the presence of cell wall is a unique character of the plant cell. Do you think it is correct? Okay, we will see. And the fourth statement is Rudolf Virchow modified the hypothesis of Kleeden and Swan. So you can see the correct answer is, the incorrect statement is option number 3, because Kleeden concluded that Kleeden, it was not Kleeden, it was Swan, right? So it is the incorrect statement. So option number 3 is the correct answer. Okay. Now see the next question, 132. So 132 is, consider the following statements related to Human Genome Project and how many statements are incorrect. Okay. The project was completed in 2006. Do you think it's correct statement? No, it was completed in 2003. Goal is to determine the sequences of 3 billion chemical base pairs and store it in database. Yes, it's correct. Address ethical, legal and social issues arising from the project. Yes. It is not associated with non-human organisms DNA sequence. It was associated. So it is the incorrect statement. So you can see that statement A and D is incorrect statement. So only A and D. Okay. A and D are the incorrect statement. So here you can see the project was completed in 2003 and it is also associated with non-human organism DNA sequence. Okay. See the next question now. Plant hormone which can delay senescent period. Which can delay senescent period is ethylene, gaseous hormone, cytokinin and abscisic acid. What is the correct answer? What you have written? Ethylene, we know it is a gaseous form of plant hormone. So here the option 2 is also a gaseous hormone. Cytokinin, yes, cytokinin is the one which can delay senescent period, right? The correct answer is option number 3. See the next question, that is question number 134. Chromatophores are extension present in membrane of dash and have dash. So chromatophores, just now we have studied that it is present in some cyanobacteria because they possess colors in them, they possess pigments in them, and for the pigment they possess this chromatophores, right? So in membranes of cyanobacteria and have pigment, so option number 2 is the correct answer. Okay. See this question, that is question number 135. Nuclear envelope reassembles around the chromosome clusters in prophase, telophase, metaphase, telophase and anaphase. So it's a very easy question, right? So when nuclear envelope reassembles, when it reassembles, it usually reassembles in the telophase stage. That is the ending phase of the mitosis cell division. So correct answer is telophase. Okay. So correct answer is option number 3. Next, in P, start synthesis is controlled by one gene with two allelic forms, capital B and small b. Which of the following statements about these allelic forms is correct? Capital B homozygotes produce large start grain. Small b's are wrinkled with large start synthesis. No, it was synthesizing, less start synthesizing. Small b, capital B seeds are round with less start synthesis. No, these two statements are not correct. So the correct statement is option number 1, right? So option number 1 is the correct answer. See the next question now, 137. Egg-shaped structure found during diplotin stage are. What was the egg shape? If you recall the structure, let's see the figure. Suppose this is the chromosome. This is one chromosome. Let me draw another one with pink blue color. Right. So here you can see that it is creating an egg-shaped structure, right? So this egg-shaped structure is observed in the diplotin stage and it is called as what? Chiasmata. It is called as chiasmata. So definitely the correct answer is option number 2, chiasmata. Okay. See the next question, that is 138. 138, the question is, cyanobacteria forms bloom in water bodies. Agaricus produce sexual spores exogenously. Yes, both the statements are correct, right? So both A and B are correct. Option number 1. Right? Agaricus, that is mushroom, is an example of basidiomycetes where sexual spores, that is basidiospores, forms exogenously. See the next question. 139. DNA fingerprinting is a valuable tool in forensic science, but it cannot differentiate between monozygotic, that is identical twins. Why? Because monozygotic twins have identical DNA, making it impossible to create distinct DNA fingerprinting for them, right? So you can see both the statements are correct and reason is telling us the correct explanation of this assertion. So here you can see identical twins, which are also called as the monozygotic twins, result from the fertilization of a single egg by a single sperm. With the fertilized egg then splitting into two embryos, which result in identical DNA and DNA fingerprinting. So same one DNA and one egg, but after fertilization, what happened? The eggs splits and it forms two embryos. So that two embryos will possess same DNA and DNA fingerprinting. So, we cannot differentiate their like DNA fingerprinting paste. Okay. So option number 1 is the correct answer. Got it? See the next question, 140. See the 140 question, mark the correct matching pair. 1. Kelp, chlorophyll C and A planospores. Fucus, algin and air bladder. Yes, if you see the figure of fucus, you will see that they possess air bladder and they have algin in their cell wall. Porifida, they possess pyrenoids and phycoerythrin. Phycoerythrins means they are the pigment which is present in the rhodophycealgae. And volvox, isogamous and fucoxanthin. Okay, so the correct answer is option number 3. Right. So option number 3 is the correctly matched. Okay. One thing you need to see here, kelp, chlorophyll C and planospores, it is not correct. Fucus, algin and air bladder. No, it is also, they possess air bladder, but they do not possess algin. Right. Volvox, isogamous and fucoxanthin. So it is also not correct. So definitely you need to select the correct matching pairs. So the correct matching pair is Porphyra. Got it? See the next question, for frugivorous, that is the fruit eating birds and mammals in the tropical forest of different continents, the slope is found to be 0.1 to 0.2, 1.15, 1.0 or 1.3. It is also given in your NCERT textbook that the regression coefficient, that is the value of Z for fruit eating birds is 1.15. Okay, so correct answer is definitely it is option number 2. See the next question now. The question is, select the list of items of column 1 with column 2. Okay, you need to select this column. So first of all, meristematic zone. Meristematic zone, we know here the cells divide repeatedly. Elongation zone, it is the growth of the root in the length, right? Maturation phase or maturation zone, in which the root hairs form root cap are the thimble-like structure. So the option will be 2, 1 and 4 and 3. So see which one is correct. 2, 1, 4, 3. Yes, option number 2 is the correct answer. Okay, option 2 is the correct answer. See the next question now, that is 143. So what is necessary for the termination of protein synthesis or translation process? So for the termination process, you always remember they will need a release factor and a stop codon. So definitely from this 4 option, option number 3 is the correct answer. So they will need a release factor and stop codon, right? So release factor Rho and stop codon UAA, UAG, UGA, either of these 3 is necessary for the termination of the translation process. Now see the next question, 144. Kinetochore is disc-shaped proteinaceous structure. Yes, this statement is correct. Statement number 2, chromosome clustered at opposite poles convert into chromatin in anaphase. No, it was converted into chromatin in telophase stage, but here it is written anaphase. So definitely the correct is statement number 1, right? Statement 1 is the correct answer and statement 2 should be telophase. It is written anaphase, right? Because we know in the telophase stage only what happened, the chromosomes become clustered at opposite poles. See the next question, that is 145. The process by which water-soluble inorganic nutrients go down into the soil horizon and get precipitated as unavailable salt is called. What is the correct answer? It is also very easy. And directly from your NCERT textbook, the correct answer will be leaching, right? You must have remembered the 5 steps of decomposition, right? So, leaching is that process in which water-soluble inorganic nutrients go down into the soil horizon and get precipitated as unavailable salt. Okay, students, let me tell you, unavailable salt means those salts or those minerals which plant cannot use, because plant take nutrition and minerals from the soil, right? So when it is written here unavailable salt means which plant cannot use. Okay, so that process is called as leaching. See the next question, that is 146. Which of the following is a dominant trait selected by Mendel? White flower and terminal flower. Just now we have studied about this question also. White flower is recessive, it is not dominant. So definitely statement 1 is not correct. Yellow pod and wrinkle seed, not correct. Wrinkle is a recessive trait. Constricted pod and green seed, constricted is a recessive. It is not correct. So tall plant and axial flower, this is the dominant trait of the pea plant, right? So option number 4 is the correct answer. See the next question, that is 147. Fat oxidation produces more energy than carbohydrates. Oxidation of fat requires more oxygen than carbohydrates. So how many of the statements are correct? So you can see that both the statements are correct, right? So fat oxidation produces more energy and fat molecules contains more carbon atoms compared to carbohydrates, right? And complete oxidation of carbon atom in fat requires more oxygen. So both the statements are correct. Option number 3 is the correct answer. See the next question now, 148. Endoparasites live on the surface of the plant. No, that was ectoparasite, right? So it is not correct. Definitely assertion is false. Reason, the most familiar example of these groups are the lice on humans and ticks on dogs. It is an example of ectoparasite. So both assertion and reasons are false. Option number 4 is the correct answer. Next is consider the following statement and how many are correct. Okay. Statement number 1 is telling you growth at a cellular level is principally a consequence of increase in the amount of protoplasm. Yes, increase in the protoplasm or increase in size of the cell is the definition of the growth. Yes, it's correct. In watermelon, growth is expressed as increase in size of the cells. Yes, it is also correct. The growth of a pollen tube is measured in terms of its length. It is also correct. The growth of the leaf is measured in terms of volume. No, it is not measured in the term of volume. It is measured in terms of surface area. So you can see 1, 2 and 3 are correct. So how many are correct? 3. That is statement number 1, 2 and 3. These 3 statements are correct, whereas statement number 4 is incorrect. It should be surface area. The growth of the leaf is measured in terms of surface area, not of volume. Now see the last question, that is 150. See, this is very important question. See, 30% of the bases in a sample of DNA extracted from eukaryotic cell is adenine. What percentage of cytosine is present in this DNA? So basically this question is from the Chargaff rule, right? So by following this rule, if A plus G plus C plus T, that means adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine, there are almost 100 bases. So out of this, the value of adenine is given, that is 30%. So definitely we know adenine bind with thymine. So if adenine is 30, thymine will also be 30, right? So you need to tell us the amount of cytosine present in this DNA. So guanine is forming triple bond with cytosine. So what is the value? See, first of all, 30 plus 30, 60 and 100. So you need to subtract 600 minus 60, which is equal to 40, right? So the value of guanine and cytosine is 40, but it has to be distributed in both the nitrogenous base. So guanine is also 20 and cytosine is also 20. So the correct option is option number 2. Option number 2 is the correct answer, 20%. Okay. So that's all for this. So I hope you understood about this question, right? Here also I have written the solution. Okay, if anyone have problem, you can note it down from here also. So students, I hope you have understood all this question. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you so much, and I hope we will meet again in the next video. Thank you.